How you doing, Dave? Long time no see.
Joe, it's good to see you again.
It's great to see you.
Yeah.
Your story, probably one of the most interesting stories a foreign affair has ever experienced.
Well, it definitely isn't what I expected.
Tell me, start at the beginning, Dave. Where are you actually from? Tell us.
Well, I'm from the New York area, New Jersey. That's where I've lived for about the past 10 years. I was raised in Los Angeles, raised my children in Las Vegas, moved east because of my wife's illness, find better doctors. But ultimately she passed away from cancer 5 months after my daughter passed away from cancer. To put it mildly, was pretty devastated. I didn't want to do anything. I remember telling my children that I'm going to move into the basement of a 3-flat that I owned, and I'll call them every Saturday, and if one Saturday I don't call them, call the police to come and check on me because I'm gone. And I really just didn't care anymore. But I knew that, you know, because of my religious beliefs, I couldn't take my own life or anything, and I wouldn't do anything like that. But yeah, it was all just, I wasn't happy, let's put it that way. I missed her.
What year was that?
That was, she passed away in January of 17.
2017.
So 2 years ago, a little more now. For many years, even with my wife, we would look at a foreign affairs website just to see these, these people from all over the world that are willing to change their life.
She didn't get jealous?
No, she used to tell me, oh, come, look at this one. I mean, it was great. Mm-hmm. And then you're seeing other lands and where people live and such. Where back when I was young, you weren't allowed to look at Soviet area.
Yeah.
So it was interesting for us both. Never thinking that someday I'm going to actually go on a tour,
Right.
because she wouldn't be with me anymore. And then about a year later, my daughter came home and said, I need to get up out of the chair and go someplace. She goes, take a trip, travel, go do something. She jokingly said, if nothing else, it'll get you out of that robe and I can wash it for you finally, But I started thinking that my wife and I used to go on trips. We used to take cruises. I don't want to do any of that because I'll be surrounded by other couples and I'd just be devastated because I'm alone. I don't want to go on a tour to Europe because I'm with other couples and I'd be devastated. So what can I do? And I remembered loveme.com. And I got on it and I said, there's a tour coming up. It'll be nothing but single guys. So I'll feel right at home. I get to go to a country. I mean, I don't have to meet women. I mean, I could just go to travel and be a tourist. And at the same time, maybe, interact with some people again. To coin a phrase, get out there. Mm-hmm. I looked at the site, I saw there was a tour coming up and said, why not? I booked the tour right away and it was great. I mean, the way a foreign affair handles everything, the setups and such, and the schedules and everything was exactly what I needed, what I wanted to look for. And I did. It was a bunch of nice guys. The staff is incredible. I mean, it was just really nice, And I really felt at home and I felt comfortable. And so...
and I do remember you on the first day telling me that you're not ready to date.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we set up something for you just to see.
I just wanted to see. Helen took me around and showed me the center in Kiev, and Helen and Olay both, who work for AFA, were very helpful and understanding. But they did try to get me to, we know a couple nice girls, maybe you want to meet with them and such. And I said, well, okay, what the heck, But now I understand when I was 20 years old and used to go to a discotheque, how the women used to feel.
Right.
Because, I mean, I had 23-year-olds coming up to me, beautiful women, don't get me wrong. I mean, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. All the way up to 50-year-olds and everything in between. And I wasn't really interested in dating or anything, but I'm also a realist. I'm not interested in dating a young girl. I'm a little older here. I mean, I'm 60 years old. What am I going to do, So I've already raised my family, So I really, it was somewhat uncomfortable for me because that wasn't really what I was there for. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I didn't want to go to the next city,
Which was
Which-
Poltava.
Poltava.
That's right.
I was not interested in going. I did not want to go to another social.
And I remember you telling me that you didn't want to go.
Yeah, I even said, no, I'll pay for a hotel myself. I'll stay. It's not a big deal. I'll just sightsee around Kiev. I mean, it's fine. This is the capital. And that's really what I wanted to do. And you and Helen with AFA talked me into it. You kept telling, no, just go, just go. And despite my reservations, yeah, I said, well, okay, fine, I'll go. I'll just catch a cab the next day if I don't like it or whatever and come back. We talked about that.
Right.
And I came. I didn't even go on the tour of the city. I just stayed in the room. And then when it came time to go to the social with the rest of the group, I wandered on over to the club and I walked in, and I'll never forget it. I walked into the club and there was this woman sitting at the corner of the dance floor in the booth, sitting on the end, and I hate to say cliches, but I mean stopped me in my tracks. And there was nobody else there. And I felt like a 15-year-old boy in high school that had a crush on some girl. My interpreter, Ina, who was wonderful, said, oh, go talk to her. And I, no, no. And then I remember saying, look at her eyes. And she said, yes. And I said, they're sad. I said, she's going through something like what I've gone through.
Hello, Nina.
Hello, Joe.
How have you been?
Yes, I'm great. Okay.
Good?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
You're not too comfortable explaining in detail in
Yes.
English.
Yeah.
So we have a translator. We have Alicia
Yes.
here,
Hello,
who's going
Lisa.
to translate for you. Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
Okay, I'm now start to talk Ukrainian because for me it's been a little more easy. And yes. Я народилася в Полтаві, навчалася в Полтаві, закінчила школу і університет також закінчила в Полтаві.
She was born in Poltava here, then she finished university and finally got married here in Poltava,
Yeah.
her native city.
Потім у мене народилося двоє чудових дітей від мого першого чоловіка. І в 2016 році так сталося, що мій чоловік помер від раку.
Then she got two children from her first husband, and they were very happy together, but in 2016 he passed away, unfortunately.
And you have two daughters.
Yes, two daughters. Yeah, two perfect daughters.
And their names are?
Mariana, it's first, and Miroslava, it's second.
And they are, how old are they?
10 and 8.
10 and 8.
Yes.
And so how long were you married for?
We be almost 11 years. Yeah.
11 years.
Yes.
And you said that he actually passed away in 2016.
Він помер у 2016.
Так, yeah.
Do you mind sharing with us from what? How did he
Можете
die?
розповісти нам про цю історію?
Так, в 2012 році чоловік грав в футбол і впав. У нього була невеличка травма. Згодом ця травма, лікарі діагностували у нього рак. Тобто ця травма спонукала виникнення цієї хвороби.
In 2016 he was playing football and fell down, and they went to the doctors and he was examined, and they discovered that he had cancer. That injury caused triggered the disease.
Протягом 4 років ми намагалися боротися з цією хворобою, але хвороба виявилася значно сильніша за нас.
For years they were trying to cure him, to recover. They were fighting this disease, but eventually the disease got stronger than they were, unfortunately.
Проте протягом цих 4 років ми все одно залишалися дуже щасливими, тому що я розуміла, що коли ти кохаєш людину понад усе, то найголовніше, що він поруч. І тому я намагалася як можна довше бути поруч зі своїм чоловіком.
for these 4 years they were trying to be happy. They understood that the most important was to be together, and they were happy all these 4 years
Yeah.
being together.
What made you decide to join a foreign affair?
Поруч з моїм офісом є офіс брачного агентства. І одного разу, коли я йшла на роботу, дівчина з цього брачного агентства, вона мені вручила білет на на вечірку.
She used to work at the office that was near AFA's office. So once when she was walking to her workplace, a lady was giving out the invitations to one of the socials, and she decided to go.
Вона мені подарувала 2 білети, тобто я мала піти не одна, я мала піти з моєю подругою, але сталося так, що моя подруга не прийшла цього вечора, і я була одна.
She was given 2 tickets for she and her friend, but that night her friend couldn't come, and she was to go alone.
So your friend bailed on you. But you still went.
Так, я вирішила залишитися, адже я прийшла, тобто в мене не було вибору, я мала залишитися. Але коли я зайшла, я відчула себе дуже дискомфортно, оскільки поруч було дуже багато незнайомих мені людей, і тому я думала, можливо, я тут залишуся кілька хвилин, можливо, півгодини, і потім я залишу це місце. Тобто не було великого бажання залишатися, бо я ж була одна.
So yes, her friend couldn't come with her, and she was hesitating whether she should come. But eventually she decided that if I have this ticket, I should go. And on entering the venue, she saw that there were so many people whom she didn't know. So she decided, I will stay here for half an hour, and then I will leave because of all these people whom I'm not acquaintance to and feel not very comfortable.
I see. So, but you did stay.
Yeah.
It was like my wife and God brought us together. I knew what was happening in her life before I even said hello to her. I just had this uncontrollable feeling for her that if I can do anything in my life to make this woman happy, that's what I want to do. If I can make the perfect woman in the world for me, that would be her sitting right there. And ultimately, between glances back and forth, because every time she would look my way, I would look away, you know, and every time she would look away, I would look at her. And then one time our eyes met and she smiled at me, and I even beat the interpreter over there to talk to her. Sat down, we talked for maybe 6-7 minutes. She didn't speak English, and we exchanged phone numbers and email. I found out that her husband had died from cancer in between the time that my daughter and my wife had died. So about the same time, 2 months before my wife had passed away, her husband passed away. And she did not want to go to America. She was I live here, my friends are here, this is it. And that she had 2 daughters, and it was just nice talking to her.
She asked very simple questions like, what's your name, how are you doing, how do you feel about this party, and but for this few moments she felt that she was very interested in this person and wants to know more.
Але він трошки порозмовляв і швидко від мене пішов. І я хотіла ще більше з ним порозмовляти, але він вже відійшов від мене.
He was very sweet. He just came and asked a few questions and then very quickly went away.
Yes, it's true.
He was interested. Why would he go away?
The rest of the night I didn't do anything but watch her, and every time anybody would walk up to that table, I don't know why, I just felt like, if you talk to her, so help me, you know. And Ina, again my interpreter, kept saying, oh, go ask her to dance or something. And finally I told her, I said, listen, if they play a slow song, I'll ask her. And again, I guess God heard that, because the next song was a slow song. I said, okay. And about that time, I saw somebody walking towards her table, and I ran from the third floor down to her table and asked her if she would dance. I didn't even get all the words out, and she was already saying yes.
Yes, I would.
You knew it was on his mind.
Ви розуміли, про що він думає.
Так, і перший танок він був особливим, тому що в перший раз в житті я відчула в обіймах Девіда якийсь неймовірний спокій. Я відчула, що я захищена, і відчула таке неймовірне тепло. Тобто я зрозуміла, що поруч з цим чоловіком мені не треба нічого боятися, тобто я буду в повній безпеці, я буду захищена. І це настільки було приємні відчуття, що мені хотілося танцювати майже весь вечір, але музика закінчилася.
When they started to dance and David took his arms around her, she felt this tenderness from him, and she felt that she was protected from all of the world, and it was such a calming and deep feeling that she felt for the first time in her life, and she wanted to keep dancing in this peaceful state, to continue it longer, but unfortunately the music stopped.
And you had to get back to your daughters.
Yes, I must come back. Yes, I don't have choice, I must.
That night, I was crying because I was thinking about my wife, and I was thinking, am I just, being unfaithful to her? Is it wrong for me to have these feelings for this woman that I just now met? I mean, what is going on with me? I grabbed a cab that morning and went back to Kiev to continue my sightseeing and go back to the United States and live out whatever days I have left. But I never let go of that little piece of paper that she wrote her name. Would you get it for me? I never let go. It's in my Bible. I never let go of that little piece of paper that she wrote her email on and her phone number and her name. And I kept it in my wallet, and then when I got home, I even put it on my nightstand in the bedroom. And every morning I would see it, and every night, and I would think about it, and I would pray, and I would talk to my wife about it. And she had emailed me, and not a very nice email, kind of direct and to the point.
She was waiting for him to make a phone call, and there wasn't any phone calls. So she got mad and decided to text him and ask him what happened.
David, this is Nina. Remember me? We met in Poltava. Why haven't you written? And she included a picture to say, this is me. It took me about a week, but finally I couldn't help it. I emailed her, and I just poured it all out to her. I said, listen, I fell in love with you the second I saw you sitting there before I even talked to you. And I don't understand it. I don't know why. I just know how I feel for you. And that the rest of my life I'd want to make you happy if I had the opportunity. And I say, if you don't answer me back, I understand. I wish you the best, etc. But I just felt that I owed it to you to tell you.
When he told you while he was falling in love with you, how did that make you feel?
Спершу я злякалася, оскільки я зрозуміла, що у цього чоловіка дуже сильне почуття до мене, і я була не впевнена, чи на цей момент я готова відповісти тим самим.
At the moment she wrote the letter from David, she understood that she was frightened because she herself wasn't ready for those feelings that he already had for her. First was fear.
Оскільки у мене чоловік помер всього лише 2 роки тому я думала, що я не готова до цих почуттів. Я намагалася себе якось зберегти, тобто не давати собі можливості відчути якісь сильні почуття, бо це могло мене дуже сильно вразити на цей момент.
And because of her husband's passing away only 2 years ago, from that day when they met David, she understood that her heart wasn't ready for that. She was afraid of new feelings, and she thought that they might hurt her.
She goes, I'm not ready for anything right now. Just want to be friends. that's okay. And I said, of course, I'd rather be your friend than nothing. For the next couple of months, we communicated first via email and then via text and then Facebooking constantly. And then, one wonderful day, she asked me if I ever thought I'd come back to Poltava again. And I said, through texting, I said, do you want me to come back? And she says, yeah, it'd be nice.
It's true.
Poltava,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Because let him understand I won't see again, David. It's not be possible. Say me stop. I won't see again.
So I made a phone call to the travel agency. I bought a ticket, said I'll be there Monday. So I came and I called her from, I'll never forget, my phone wasn't working, so some other people at baggage claim, they called her for me. And they were talking to her in Ukrainian. I'm here now, and I heard her giggling, that nervous kind of giggle. And I go, oh, this is good. It sounds like she's happy I'm here. First, she had told me she'd see me on Tuesday. But then she decided she'll stay and she'll see me Monday night. And maybe we'll have a little bite to eat when I get to Poltava. So I guess you could say that we had our official first date, that evening at the hotel. And they have a nice restaurant, and we both ordered Caesar salads, and we started talking to each other via Google Translate.
It's good that you even remember what meal you had.
Oh yeah, no kidding. It was great. And the next day we went for a walk, and here in Poltava, if you get married, there's one house you have to go to. It's a government house, and they're the one that issues the license, and literally, legally marry you, when they give you the license. And we were walking past this, and she was explaining to me that that's where her and her husband had gotten married, and that's where you get married at. And she asked me if I'd marry her.
She asked you.
Yes, this was Tuesday. I got there Monday, and Tuesday she asked me, and I said, yes, absolutely.
Were you serious?
Я скажу чесно, це було лише наполовину жарт. Тобто, мабуть, я це сказала, бо, мабуть, взагалі я цього хотіла. Так.
To be frank, she would like to say that it was only half joke, but she knew that part of her heart wanted it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's true.
Nina, let me tell you, if you think I am kidding, I am not. I would marry you right now if you would. But she thought I was joking. Of course, if she thought I was serious, she'd probably run because, we haven't even been, seen each other for 24 hours. But we continued our walk, and she showed me around a little bit, and we just had a wonderful day, a wonderful lunch. And by the end of the week, because she's a landscape architect, and she had a lot of work to do, but she wasn't getting any of her work done, because every morning I would wait for her on the balcony, because she always walked by this hotel on her way to work. And I would see her, and we'd have a cup of coffee or something, and then she'd go to work late. And then after work or during lunch, she'd come and we'd have a bite and spend some time together, and she'd leave work early. So she said, I'm not getting any work done, you have to leave. And I said, okay, if you want me to go, I will go. She said, I want you to go, but can you stay one more week? And I'm like, okay, sure. And, I'm sure she'll tell you her side of it, but without any question by then, it was just so obvious. Even the manager at the hotel knew that I loved her and knew that she loved me. And why it happened so fast, I don't know, but the bottom line is 2 months later, we were married. And we bought a new flat together. And I want to make sure that Americans out there understand this. She contributed every penny she had towards buying that flat too. It wasn't just gimme, gimme. As a matter of fact, the very few disagreements we have had over the past year, and not even arguments, because we've never argued, have been because she's trying to save money on things that I think you shouldn't save money on. It's like, listen, honey, we can afford it. It's okay,
Yeah.
I have definitely been blessed in many, many ways, and not just my wonderful, beautiful wife, but the 2 children that she has given to me, a 10-year-old Mariana, an 8-year-old Miroslava, that I am their papa now. and I love them as much as I love Sophia, the new baby. And I'm actually adopting them so that it will be completely legal
Correct.
and proper.
Dave, Nina, we're with the whole, most
Almost.
of the family.
Yes, we have.
You want to introduce?
This is Mariana, my 10-year-old daughter. She is wonderful, very smart. And even smarter sometimes is Miroslava, our 8-year-old daughter, who gets kind of temperamental sometimes.
So what grade are they in?
What grade would you call it? You're in 5
Yeah.
and you're in 2 or 3 or something like that? 2? Yeah, 2 and 5. It's a little different than the U.S. Stu. Well, the kids are going to be calling, so the driver brings them.
Okay. Driver.
Of course, they even go to a private school now.
Nice.
One of the best in Ukraine. Very good school. And
So, we were having a little bit of a discussion earlier about who proposed to who.
I'm first.
okay,
Which
she
is
claims
good.
that
That's
she
bonus
was
points.
first, which was good. Official proposal, I did twice.
Yeah.
Twice, you had to do it twice.
Well, the one time was at the hotel
Yeah.
when I asked her if she would marry me, and she said she would. And then knowing this, I had to go back to the United States to get some papers together because of my previous wife. And when I came back, I had a ring. You wearing it?
Oh no, I feel.
I had an engagement ring, a
Yes.
diamond ring for her. And at the airport, because our daughters were there,
Yes.
I got down on a knee and
Right in
asked
the
her,
airport.
Yes.
right in the
yes,
airport,
Yes.
asked her in Ukrainian, which
Yes,
the stewardesses
yeah.
on the airline helped me to learn,
It's a big surprise for me.
if she would marry me. And she said yes, and I put the ring on. I think she said yes just because she was embarrassed and wanted me to get up. But either way, it worked.
Yes.
And I put the ring on her finger, and it was official.
Yeah.
Great. That's beautiful. So, you went to Paris on your honeymoon.
There's a story even there. When she had said yes, I said, I can't match what she's given me. She's given me, because God took away one daughter and a wife, and now she's given me 2 daughters and a wife.
3.
And well, 3, but at the time it was 2. So I said, but what I can give you is the world. So for our honeymoon, any place in the world you want to go, we'll go. And that's when she had told me that ever since she was a little girl, watching television, Paris was a dream. Coming from a woman that only 3 or 4 times in her entire life she ever left Poltava. Once or twice to Kiev, and then 3 times because her husband was sick to Kharkov. But other than that, it never even left Poltava. So Paris was a huge deal for her. And
And
I said,
Nina, was Paris everything you thought it would be?
В Парижі було все, як ви планували, як уявляли.
Так, так, так. Навіть більше.
Paris was even better than she thought it would
Yeah.
be.
great. We spent a wonderful week in Paris. Grandpa watched the kids, and we got to spend a week in Paris.
So when, David, did you find out that you were going to get a third child?
Yeah, considering my youngest is 30 years old, previous to these 2, for her birthday, which was December 2nd, we decided to go to Rome. I wanted to go. And we thought this is perfect. It's a quick little trip. We could take the girls and see how they liked traveling, because our goal in life, or mine at the time, was, well, we got some pretty sizable young ladies here. We can travel all over Europe together and just start spending time traveling. So we thought this would be a good test to see how they handle flight, because they've never been on a plane, travel, going to new exotic places, etc. So we went to Rome, and while in Rome, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd day we were, 2nd day?
No.
3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
About
yeah.
the 3rd day, she woke up and said, I think maybe you should go to the pharmacy and get a test, pregnancy test. And I kind of looked at her with, like most men in the world would look at a woman, especially when you're my age. Okay, so I guess the drugs here in Ukraine don't always work. She read it, I read it. It said it takes 10 minutes to tell. I think it was, how many minutes did it actually take?
I think not one. We don't-
It was pretty quick, there was no doubt. And she came out, and I must admit she was a little bit nervous to tell me. But I tell you, God knows what we want and what we need long before we do. And when she told me at first, I was a little, well, that's going to change things. But I couldn't be happier. And even now, she still says sometimes, you wanted to travel, and now we have a baby. And I said, so what? I have a baby. What's more important than these children?
I have to admit, Dave, from the last time I saw you and now, completely different person. I mean, you can't stop smiling.
Well, this is why. Look,
Right.
Like I said, God took one daughter and my wife, and He gave me a wonderful wife and 3 daughters in replace. So, and I am Papa. To this one, I'm a monkey tree because she likes to climb all over me and hang on me.
Be careful.
To this one, I just like her teddy keeps jumping in my pocket.
No.
But we have a lot of fun together, but they understand. They do. They love me as their papa. They respect me as their papa, and they're wonderful children. I couldn't ask for anything better, including our baby. Of course, and my wife. Wow.
An incredible story, it really is. Obviously, right now, there are many, many men watching this from the website, and if you can actually tell them, one thing, what would it be?
If you're for real, if what you're looking for and what you want is true, you could find it here with the real woman who will love you more than you'd ever think possible, and that you would love more than you would ever think you can. You just have to give it the chance and be real.
Я хочу сказати, щоб люди ніколи не втрачали надію, і вони обов'язково, якщо вони будуть втрачати надію, знайдуть свою другу половинку.
People should never lose their faith, and if they are searching, they will definitely find their true and only love.
You guys have been great.
Thanks,
Let's
Joe.
go see that baby.
The only way this could have happened is with divine intervention, to put it mildly. There's her husband and my wife got together, and they went to the big guy and said, listen, we have to get these two together, because believe me, if any couple need each other, it's them. And let me tell you, I need her so much. She is my life now. And I thank God all the time for her.